guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm doing kind of a VR response to my girl over at Shuffle Tarot, and she recently made a video called My Past Life Spread, and so she said she had gotten tons of requests from people wanting to know like how she does her past life spread, and I've basically done what she's done. I know you can't see off camera, but I have like all the other cards because it is quite involved, and I know she did a condensed version for YouTube because you know, she goes into a lot of depth with her past life readings. But I decided to use roughly the same number of decks that she used. I have 4 decks here, and I'll show you that in a minute. But what I wanted to do, instead of doing a past life spread, I've tweaked it a little bit and I've called it my current life spread. Because isn't it interesting to, you know, we're always so fascinated with past life, and like, I don't want to like get anybody wrong, like I love past life regression too. I love looking into like who was I in the past and how does that connect to me now. But what if we dove into our current life as if we were looking at it from a future life perspective, and I'm looking back onto the life that I have right now? Like, isn't that just like mind blown? So anyway, I thought that this would be interesting. So I've done kind of that circular spread just like Shuffle Tarot has done, and I'll read off the different positions, but before I do that, let's go into the cards that I'm using. So I'm using Le Tarot du Film Érotique as one of my tarot decks. In here I have the John Waterhouse Oracle. I'm also using the Tarot de la Nuit, and I'm also using the Oracle of Mystical Moments. Okay, so let me see if I can move my camera up. So I have pulled the 3 extra cards, and then any cards that popped out from that other Oracle deck I have back there. So Shuffle Tarot said that she pulled her tarot cards first, like you know, asking the 10 questions, and she put that in a circle, and then as clarifiers she put an oracle deck on top of that. And so she could do a 3rd deck, I think she said, if she wanted to, just for extra information. And then she pulled 3 other cards, which are the 3 cards that you saw up here, just for more information about this life that we're looking at. And then she used one of her other decks, and just random cards that fell out are also, you know, clarifiers. So, okay, so let me talk about my spread positions here. So it's basically her questions, but making it more of a current life. So here, instead of who was I, who am I now? And then where do I live? You know, it may not be just like, oh, you live in San Diego, but it might be a little bit deeper than that. So we'll see. Sorry, I have my notes here. And then I have, am I happy? Because one of her questions was I happy? Then it was, who was my soulmate? But here I have, who is my soulmate? And then, is the soulmate that I have now from a past life instead of vice versa? And then here, since I know I don't have children, I put, will I have children? And if you do have children, to maybe put the energy surrounding your children now. Or maybe like your thoughts on that. So just like to go deep. Okay, position number 7 is, well, you know what you do for a living, so what should you be doing for a living? And it may like match up with what you already do, so that might be awesome. And then this one might be a little bit more morbid because in Shuffle Tarot it's how did I die? So here, instead of asking like how will I die, it might be more insight into things I can avoid, like, you know, if I have a really unhealthy habit that might like add to my untimely demise, you know. So just information surrounding my death in this life. Here is, what is my life lesson in this life, and what is one big thing that I should learn from this life? So it might branch off from the lesson, we'll see. And then, like I said, moving up here, I have 3 extra cards as clarifiers, plus there's actually 4 cards up here that you can't really see off camera. that are just kind of popped out to also enhance the reading here. So I've done this for myself, but you know, I'd be interested in seeing what you guys do. Like if you end up doing this spread, like I want to see what people do, like Shuffle Tarot's like past life spread, but I also want to see if you're going to do like a current life spread. That might be really fascinating. Okay, so I'm going to go with position number 1, which is who am I now instead of who was I. So I'm going to read these together. So here we have, this is the 8 of Swords. We have disillusionment, but also if you think the 8 of Swords, it's like the person trapped, blindfolded, surrounded by all these swords. And then here you have this woman on her knees looking up at her knight. Okay, so who am I now? Okay, so what I'm getting is that I've actually broken free from, you know, and maybe it wasn't a pleasant free, but I have broken free from like how I thought the world was supposed to work, how I thought my life is supposed to turn out, how I thought like everything was just supposed to be. And it's nice here that I'm sharing this, you know, kind of with my dude. And I almost feel like, you know, I have to, you know, talk about it, and it's, I mean, it's uncomfortable for me to talk about, like, you know, how I see the world now and how I view my life going. And so it's more like I'm taking the, okay, this is how I'm feeling, you know, so I'm being very ginger about it. Okay, so yeah, that's who I am now. Interesting. Okay, so then we go into position number 2. Where do I live? So this might be just a little bit more deep than I live in San Diego. Okay, so then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles. Wow, and then we have this woman here. So where do I live? So I live in a place, and I'm thinking more than just my city, but like the country I live in, or even the world that I live in, that you know, everything is about patience, you know, waiting for the moment. That I live in a world where if I'm just patient, but I'm also like kicking ass and working hard and taking names, that what I desire, you know, more often than not will come to fruition, you know. So and I'm actually very grateful to be able to live in a world where I know that my hard work is going to pay off, you know, that I live in a country where that could happen. So that is where I live now. Very good. All right. And I'm going actually rather quick. You know, if I was actually like doing a reading for somebody like that with this, you know, which I don't offer this reading, but hey, if you're into it, like, let me know and I can do this type of reading. I would actually spend more time, but I'm just trying to go over quickly with you guys. Okay, so number 3, am I happy? Okay. So here we have the Devil, be aware. And then here we have this woman kind of listening against the wall. So I would say that I'm happy, but I may get caught up on like how, with this woman listening here, how everybody else is doing. You know, I tend to compare quite a bit, you know, where other people are in their lives, and like, you know, comparing, well, this person's the same age as me and they're already like here, or, you know, they've done this. And I tend to get really caught up in comparisons, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to be successful and to be someone other people can be proud of. And so although I'm proud of myself, I just feel like, yeah, that I'm happy. It's just, I think I get caught up in too much of that comparison. All right. Okay, going on to position number 4. Who is my soulmate? So we have the 5 of Swords. strife. And then we have this guy kind of chasing after this girl. I was actually just thinking about this earlier. Okay, so when me and the dude first got together, you know, I was in a completely different like headspace and place in my life. And I would say that I was kind of difficult to deal with because I was always all up in my head. I mean, I still kind of am, but I'm probably less difficult to deal with. I don't know. You could always ask him. So I was always trying to run away from anything that was good, and I saw the dude as something very good in my life. So I was trying to run away from that because I had this feeling of like not deserving, and you know, I should be somebody who should be punished and unhappy, and so I was always running away, and he was always trying to bring me back. So I caused a lot of like strife. So my soulmate is somebody who didn't let me run away from my problems, didn't let me run away from him or myself. It made me face my problems head on, and you know, I'm a better person because of it now. And actually, you know, on the 8th, November 8th, we celebrate our 12-year anniversary. So this is me and the dude. My soulmate is my dude. So I kind of already knew that. I didn't need cards to tell me that, but yeah. Okay. And then we have position number 5. Is this soulmate from past life? So was the dude with me in a past life? So is he from a past life? Okay. So here we have apprenticeship, which is the 8 of Pentacles. And then we have this person. Actually, she looks very angelic, and she's got these white flowers. She is an angel, actually. So past life. So apprenticeship and then an angel. Okay, so I feel like, okay, so this might sound weird. Okay, so, not so much I felt like, he and I were in a past life together, although we could have been. I feel like we worked in the realms together. So, I mean, maybe not as like, whatever, entity girl and entity boy dating, but more like I think we worked closely together in the realms. That's something to contemplate. That's very interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to think more on that after I finish up this video. Interesting. Okay, then we have possession number 6. Will I have children? I mean, I'm pretty sure I won't, or maybe we're talking about the cats as my children. But let's see. We have strength, courage from passion, and then we have this woman looking out the door here to this beautiful garden, and then this woman already is in a garden. So I mean, I think it's how I look at it. When it comes to children, it's something that I'm curious about. You know, I like to look in, you know, like on my Facebook feeds into other people's lives with their kids, and, you know, people that I graduated from school with that, you know, have had like 3 and 4 kids, and some of those kids are like freshmen in high school now, and some of them sophomores in high school. Actually, one of my friends, her kid's a senior in high school, and I'm like, what? How am I old enough to have a senior in high school? But it's something like I look into with curiosity. But with this woman feeding the swan here, I get a feeling like I'm somebody who's really meant to help nurture other people's children and help nurture animals. You know, that's kind of where my heart is. I feel like I'm a mom of the world. So although I don't think I'll ever have any children of my own, and I'm okay with that, I love being that kind of strong mother figure to other people's kids, you know, through my teaching and coaching, and also through being a fur baby mom. So yeah, I love you know, nurturing, helping animals and things like that. So yeah. Okay, going on to our next position. What should I be doing for a living? It may be doing what I'm doing now. Okay, so here we have the Five of Pence, which is poverty. And here we have this person who looks like he's lighting the incense, getting ready for like a spiritual lecture, something like that. Okay, so what I'm getting for what I should be doing, I should be in a sort of like teaching capacity, maybe more of a spiritual nature instead of like a traditional school setting. And my job as a teacher is to help empower people, to get people out of a position of feeling like they're lost or in a hole, and helping them to find their own path and helping them to find their own light. Just basically bringing them to a place where they feel empowered to move forward in their life with self-respect and love. So yeah, that's okay. Well, I'm already teaching, but that'd be fabulous to go in a different direction with that, and I'd be pretty stoked. Okay, let's go on to our next position, which is the how will I die? Well, it's more like what are some things that are surrounding my ultimate demise, and maybe it's things I can avoid, like maybe I eat too many sweets and I become diabetic or something like that. So let's see, we have the Fairy, which is card number 12. Actually, that came up for Major Arcana. Number 12 came up actually in a video I just did. Okay, so we have change your perspective, which is like the hangman. And then we have this lady just chilling with her little kid. You got these neighbors are like, hey, what you doing over there? Okay, so surrounding my death. Let's see. So this might be harder to read because I'm like, well, I don't really want to know how I'm gonna die, but let's see here. These people are both in repose. Actually, I feel like and everybody's smiling. So I don't feel like this is like scary, morbid, something horrific happens. I feel like I'm actually really happy when I go, whenever that is. Hopefully that's like when I'm 100. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to be surrounded by people that love me the most. I may not be surrounded by like hundreds of people, but just like the people that mean the most to me are going to be surrounding me when I go. And I feel like I'm going to be pretty proud of how it goes. So maybe that changing your perspective of like, this isn't a sad event. It's actually going to be pretty joyful when I go. Like, I'm going to be like, yeah, I kind of like accomplished everything I came here to accomplish. I feel pretty good about it, and I'm actually ready to go. So I feel like I'm going to be rather fortunate. I know some people, life is taken from them, and it's like they never saw it coming. And it's like, and for me, it may possibly be old age. It's just that I feel like I'm ready. So I actually have that conscious choice to feel like I'm ready to go. All right, interesting. Well, that wasn't morbid at all. Okay, moving on to card number 9. What is my life lesson? What is my lesson in this life? We have inward study, which is the Four of Swords, and usually you see yourself kind of going on a journey. And here you have this young lady just kind of feeding the birds. So my lesson in this life is really to look into the things that get overlooked in my life, the smaller things, the things that I take for granted or I felt like didn't have much meaning in my life. It's just that was no big deal. That was just such a small thing. And my lesson in this life is to really look on the little things that may have just gotten brushed aside or overlooked how I got where I am now, and do a little self-reflection on that, to start looking at things and how I place significance on them. You know, why I choose to mark certain things as being like more important than other things. Interesting. Yeah, that's something I wanna look at too. I'm gonna be like leaving this spread here so I can just like look on it after this video. Okay, in the last position, so what is it that, one of the things that I need to learn? So that's one of my lessons, and something that I need to learn. Oh. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords, which so many swords, but you know, I'm an air sign, so it kind of makes sense. Struggles with uncertainty. And here we have this woman looking to the ocean, looking very forlorn, distraught. And yes, that is something, yes, I know, universe. This is something consciously I know, something I need to learn is to just deal with not being able to know everything, like not being able to know minute by minute, day by day, how my life is going to turn out, you know, because I want to have such a control over that, and I really struggle with uncertainty. I you know, maybe that's something everybody struggles with, but I feel like I struggle with it a lot. Okay. So like I said, I pulled 3 other cards just as clarifiers about this life, which is my life. And this is from Tarot de la Nuit, 5 of Cups, which actually is my card for this month, 6 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. So we have 3 of the 4 suits in here. Okay, so I'm also getting that in this life I have extremes, you know. That's something I also think about, like how come I've had so much death, you know, I've witnessed so much death in my life. I've had like really great accomplishments, but it's and awesome things happen, but it seems like they're always followed by a great loss or sorrow. And it's just like, that's just kind of how you wanted to map your life out, that you have huge disappointments, huge losses, but you also have really big wins. And also in this life, just learning when to rein it in. You know, I tend to be like, I don't know, like I guess that expression, balls to the wall. That's kind of how I live. But I also need to know when to rein that in, when to rein in my finances, my energy, my time, because I tend to live in a world of excess. You know, even though I never really came from much, I tend to live in excess. So just working on that 4 of Pentacles energy. Okay, so that's interesting. And then, like I said, I pulled these last 4 cards. They were just cards that randomly popped out while I was shuffling. So let's just take a look at them. They're from the Oracle of Mystical Moments. We have Listen, Transformation, White Rose of Hope, and Abracadabra. So I'm really seeing in this life that I do need to spend more time listening to my intuition, listening to my gut, and tuning out, I guess, the distractions of others and things that I on purpose distract myself with. You know, I tend to get myself all wrapped up in a bunch of stuff so I don't have to listen to what my brain is saying or what my heart is saying. But I also live in a life of transformation. I'm constantly reinventing myself and changing jobs and changing, you know, how I see the world, changing myself, changing my style. Well, actually, no, my style's always been kind of quirky, but you know, I guess you could just say my style's always just overall been quirky, but there are times I was like, you know, more metal, and I was more you know, then I was like raver, and then I was like 1940s, and then, you know, but I guess just the style's always just been quirky. Then the White Rose of Hope. I feel like in this life, I really have to learn how to let my light shine and not see it as like being modest, or I like have to dim it because, you know, I don't want to feel like I stand out too much amongst others, but really learning to let that light shine. And then Abracadabra, really learning how magical I really am and my power, and being able how to wield that power for the greater good. Okay, so Those were all my cards. So I thank Shuffle Tarot for the idea, you know, and I'm definitely gonna want to do her past life spread, but I liked being able to tweak this into a current life, you know, being able to take stock of that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, and if you guys end up doing a VR, just tag me, Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And yeah, if you guys dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading with me, and actually you want to do this like current life spread, then just let me know upon booking. Head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I'd love to do a reading for you, and head over to patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot, where my wonderful peeps over there are helping to support what I do. So if you like what I do, you want to support what I do, you want to keep this, you know, ship afloat, it's only $1 a month, and I do need tons of support, especially for my oracle deck, but maybe you have ideas on certain videos you want me to do. If you want to start have me start doing certain things with my videos, or adding new equipment, if you want me to do like courses, workshops, more meetups, you know, just let me know. And yeah, and I really do appreciate everybody who supports me over there. So lots of kisses for all of you. And yeah, that's it for me, spiritual homies. So I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.